Hello, church, and welcome to another midweek update from your pastor. And this is Thanksgiving week, and so tomorrow we'll be celebrating Thanksgiving as a nation. And so I hope you and your family have a great Thanksgiving. I know this year it's a little different. I know a lot of our families have made different plans because of the coronavirus, and so if that's happened to you, I'm sorry about that. But I still hope that we all manage to have a great Thanksgiving together. And in the midst of this pandemic, we still have so much to be thankful for. There is no question that this time last year, as we were preparing for Advent and looking forward into 2020, we had no idea. There was no way for us to know what was just ahead of us in the year 2020. I can remember us establishing and talking about Vision 2020 and as a church and looking at our future and talking about the next 3 to 4 years and just where we felt like we were headed as a church family. And we certainly had no idea that we were going to encounter this incredible pandemic, that it would grip our nation, our world, our city, our community, our families in such a powerful way. So this certainly has been a strange year. And I know that there has been a lot of suffering because of the virus, and so we certainly acknowledge that, and we have been in prayer for many, many people throughout this year that have been touched by it. And it hasn't always just been a physical thing. We have had people in our church who've had COVID. We've had at least one death related to COVID. And we know we've had a lot of families that have been affected by it physically, but it's also had its impact in other ways. Obviously, the economic impact of it. We've had people who have lost their jobs because of it, and then just the isolation that it has caused has led to all kinds of complications for people. So this has been a challenging year, and yet in spite of that, we still have so much for which we are thankful. And so I hope that you will have an opportunity on Thanksgiving to gather, whether it be remotely or with whoever, family and friends, and you'll have a chance to just stop and give thanks. And that's certainly what we will do. Our family is going to do that. This is one of those times where we just intentionally work together to express our thanksgiving to God for what He's done. And so I hope you'll be able to do that. I hope you have a safe Thanksgiving. And there is a lot to be thankful for. There's a lot of stuff's happened. For example, last time I did one of these, I gave a shout out to Ryan, who's on the other side of the camera right now. He was getting married, and so Ryan, congratulations. And he and Bonnie have gotten married, and so we're grateful for that. I know they'll have a sweet and special Thanksgiving. There are lots of family celebrations. We have a new baby in the Wiles family, and we're grateful for little Adler Grace, and we'll give the Lord thanks for her. So there have been a lot of those kinds of things happen as well along the way. Well, this coming Sunday marks the beginning of the next season in our church's life, and that's the Advent season. And I'm really looking forward to spending Advent with you. Now, once again, with the virus and its growth and spread, it has presented us with a lot of challenges. But right now, we are continue to plan to have worship services on Sunday morning throughout the Advent season at 9:30 a.m. And of course, those will all be broadcast online. We're planning to have a Christmas celebration the weekend of December 19th and 20th, where we're going to just enjoy the hard work of our worship ministries as we're going to wish Arlington a Merry Christmas with love. And we're planning on right now having a broadcast on that Sunday night, the 20th at 6 o'clock of that program that's going to be pre-recorded. At this point, we have watch parties planned, and we're still planning on doing those, and we'll just have to keep you posted. We're also planning on hosting in-person Christmas Eve services at 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. That's our plan right now, but I'll just invite you to stay tuned. But regardless of how all that works out, we're still going to celebrate Advent together. And our theme this year is For God Still So Loves His World. And the text this year for Advent is actually found in Ephesians 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on Ephesians 2 mostly on Sunday mornings, and we're going to read through the Gospel of John during the week. John is a gospel of love, and we're going to just experience the love of God as we bring our study of love to a conclusion during the Advent season. This year-long study on love that our church has been engaged in, we will bring it to a conclusion in the Advent season. And so John's Gospel will be a fitting conclusion for us. But the text that we're going to focus on, mostly on Sunday morning, is found in Ephesians 2, verses 1 through 10. And the real focus is on verse 4, which says, "But because of His great love for us, God, who is rich in mercy, made us alive with Christ, even when we were dead in transgressions. And it is by grace you have been saved." And so because of God's great love for us, that's what we're going to focus on. So this first Sunday, we're going to look at a very familiar story. It's the conversation between Jesus and Nicodemus. And then most of the Sundays from then on out, we'll focus on a passage from Ephesians 2 as we hone in on God's great love for us. Now, one of the things that is a part of our Advent celebration always, you'll find decorations throughout our church campus. Just behind us here, or behind your view, here from the camera's perspective, is a giant Christmas tree, and I hope you'll get to stop by the Welcome Center to see it during the Advent season. You'll notice that it is made out of blankets this year. All year long, we've had church members, over 70 of you, have been making these blankets. David McDurham came to us with this idea at the beginning of the year. And throughout the year, you've been making these blankets. We have over 140 of them have been made. And so we've actually fashioned our Christmas tree out of them this year. And at the end of the Advent season, we will be delivering these blankets to our hospitals, and they'll be given to little children when the children are dismissed with their families from the hospitals as a gesture of love. And you know that a lot of times these families that have been in the hospital with their children, sometimes they leave with great challenges. And we just want these blankets to give them an understanding that someone loves them, that God loves them and cares about them. And so it'll be a tangible gift for these kids and just an expression of love from First Baptist Arlington. It's a really cool thing this year. So you want to stop by and see these blankets. We couldn't put all of them on the tree, so we had to actually make another little display off to the side, but you'll see those. And then you'll see another Christmas tree, a small one. And Laverne Sepulveda, she had all these little balls of yarn that she used in her knitting, had them left over, and we've taken them and actually used them as decorations for the tree. So it's a fitting tribute to Laverne's legacy in the life of our church as well. And then right behind me here is a very special Christmas tree. It's our memory tree, and our Grief Share Ministry sponsors it, and it's right here in the main entrance into our Welcome Center. And here's what we want to invite you to do. If you would like to do this, if you have a Christmas ornament that reminds you of someone in your family who has died, not just died in this past year, but just who's died and they're no longer with you for your Christmas celebrations, then we want to invite you to bring that ornament and just place it here on this tree somewhere. You'll notice there are already several that have been placed here by family members. This coming Sunday, Cindy and I will be placing several ornaments on this tree. We'll have one for my dad and my mom, and one for her dad and her mom, and we always place one in memory of Clint Dobson on this tree. And so this coming Sunday, or throughout the Advent season, when you are here at the church, you can bring one of those ornaments and place it on the tree, and it will just be a special tribute to the people who've gone before us, the people that we love, that are no longer with us, to actually celebrate this season with. But we look forward to celebrating all of it one day with them in glory. So it's a special tree, special commemoration of people in our church family who've gone on to be with the Lord. So I invite you to stop by and look at it, and just remember that each one of these ornaments represents a very special life and someone who's made a contribution to their own family. Well, again, I'm looking forward to celebrating Advent with you. And I'm going to ask you to be flexible with us and just stay tuned, and we'll try to provide the ministry as best we can during this season, because on the one hand, we want to provide significant ministry to you, but we also want to keep you safe as possible. So putting those two things together is what we'll try to do as we make our way through this season, and then we will launch into 2021, where we're going to celebrate our 150th anniversary as a church. So God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving, and I look forward to seeing you Sunday.